telescope to the camp up in Wisconsin. Yeah, but I mean, if you go back there, it's on the southeast corner of the building. You can still see it.
East corner?
Southeast corner of the building.
Well, you know, there's the archive.
I mean, if you want that,
Right. Welcome, everybody, to the Two-Way Street Coffee House. My name is Jennifer. We have a lot of first-timers. Can I see a show of hands if this is your first time here tonight? Welcome. We're so glad to have you. We have had live music in this very room every Friday night for 54 years. Yes, we are super, super proud of the tradition and history and all the amazing music that has come through this room. And tonight is no exception. We have the wonderful Miss Charlotte Morris with us tonight. We are a listening room, so we ask that you keep your conversations to a minimum. And when I say minimum, I mean not at all. We like to make sure that we listen to our artists. They're wonderful, and so we want to give them our full attention. And if you could also please make sure you shut your cell phone sound off as well. That's really awkward, yes, when that happens, so we appreciate it. So welcome, and we're going to get started. Let's give a round of applause to Charlotte Morris.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hey, guys. How are we doing? We're good? Or are we enjoying this weather? It's like kind of crazy, right? So I went to school at Northwestern. So I was in the area for a while, and thank you. I'll take it. Go Cats. So, you know, I feel like I know the weather in the Chicago area, and this was not expected. I actually called my sister who lives in Chicago last week, and I asked if I should bring my parka. So that wasn't required. But I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm currently based out of Philadelphia, but that move was pretty recent. I was in Nashville for the last 3.5 years, making music and writing and meeting new people. And typically, when I've been on the road in the past, I start things off with this song that I'm going to play for you guys first. And I say, you know, I'm here from Nashville, Tennessee. Here's a song I wrote called Tennessee. That's not true anymore, but I don't have a song called Philadelphia yet. So here's Tennessee. Driving in your beat-up truck down back roads, listening to Joni way up loud, drawing out the seconds till it's over, 'cause they say that's what being young is about. Now we might not grow together, and we might not tell stories to our kids, 'cause baby, we meant to be. I'm not your only one, but I will always have this Tennessee boy with the stars in his eyes, drinking Tennessee whiskey neath the Tennessee skies, chasing mighty waters where the Smokies meet their end, spending nights wrapped up in pretend. I will always have Tennessee, and Tennessee will always have me. Wasting nights just getting lost in neon, dancing to the songs that you don't know, acting like we'll be this way forever. We just ignore the signs that say we should let go, 'cause this ain't what they write about in movies, just booze and passion mixed with lonely nights. But baby, when you look at me, you see into my soul. So it helps the hurt to know this Tennessee boy with the stars in his eyes, drinking Tennessee whiskey neath the Tennessee skies, chasing muddy waters where the Smokies meet their end, spending nights wrapped up in pretend. I will always have Tennessee, and Tennessee will always have me. I can't see a life without you, and it's good. 'Cause I know I'll never love you like I should. But years from now, I'll look back at these months, just happy to remember what I had once. This Tennessee boy with the stars in his eyes, drinking Tennessee whiskey neath the Tennessee skies, chasing muddy waters where the Smokies meet their end, spending nights wrapped up in pretend. I will always have Tennessee, and Tennessee will always have me. Yes, Tennessee will always have me. Thank you. So one of the things that is big in Nashville is co-writing. And basically that's where you could put 2 people in a room, you could put 10 people in a room, but everybody comes together and they're like, let's write a song. And it's this huge way that people actually network in the city. And so instead of people being like, hey, you're in music, you're a writer, like, let's grab a coffee. They're like, hey, let's go write a song together. And as a person who writes almost exclusively like about my life and my feelings and my experiences, like that is terrifying because I don't know you. I don't know these people, and it's very scary to sit down and write with somebody when it's just all of your emotions bubbling up. But it was something I pushed myself to do and kind of went outside of my comfort zone to do. And I found a handful of people that I really loved writing with, and one of them, his name is Jake Arthur, and things just really clicked instantly when we met and started writing together, and we've written a number of songs together now. But the very first one that I released out into the world is a song that we wrote last spring, and we sat down and we wrote a song called Single in My 20s, about me being single in my 20s and loving it. And as soon as we were done, I was like, I am in love with this song. We have to release it right now because I turned 30 in December. So I'm no longer single in my 20s. I'm now single in my 30s, and that doesn't sound as good in a song. But I'm just as happy. So here's Single in My 20s. People keep asking when it'll happen, when I will find a new last name. Well, they shouldn't hold their breath to see me in a wedding dress. So what's their rush? 'Cause I'm okay. So what, I'm single in my 20s, got my own house and my own money, don't got no man in my bed, got my dog there instead, don't need someone else to love me. times I've let anyone dictate my smiles or my tears. I've learned to love the way I feel my each and every day. It's a gift to live life like this. So what, I'm single in my 20s, got my own house and my own money, don't got no man in my bed, got my dog there instead, don't need someone else to love me. Yeah, I consider myself lucky to be single in my 20s. These years are meant to figure myself out, so for right now, I'm single in my 20s. I spend my own money, no man in my bed, my dog there instead, no, I don't need anybody. Yeah, I'm single in my 20s, got my own house and my own money, don't got no man in my bed, got my dog there instead, don't need someone else to love me. Yeah, I consider myself lucky to be single in my 20s. Yeah, I consider myself lucky to be single in my 20s. Thank you. That song made a man on the internet very mad at me. He told me I was setting a bad example for the younger generation. So I play that song even more now. This next song is a song that's going to be coming out on an album May 1st, which I'm very excited about. The album's called Both Sides. And this song is one of my favorite tracks off of the album. And I think it really encapsulates a big part of what the album is about for me. Because I think there's so many parts of life, and there's all these ups and downs, and all these things that in the moment we look at and they seem like just absolutely devastating. Things in my life, whether it was like a relationship not working out, or a job not coming through, or a friendship kind of drifting away, all these things that really hurt in the moment. And now when I look back on them, I realize that if those things hadn't kind of crumbled into the pieces that they did, I wouldn't have the opportunities that then came to me, and I wouldn't be where I am today. And I think no matter how you look at it, like, everything is meant to happen in the way that it happens. And so this song is called Living and Loving. You left a glass on the table with no coaster. It left a ring. One of those stains it can't get out for anything. And I feel the same when I lie awake. Sometimes you drop into my mind, 'cause you took my heart and tore it apart. And that's the kind of thing that leaves a mark. Some stains, they stay. Some clouds, they rain. Some days they aren't meant to be seized, and some dreams, they change. Some bets you lose. Most of the time you can't choose, 'cause living and loving is just a shot in the dark. And some things are meant to fall apart. I still have the t-shirt that you gave me to wear one night to sleep. It's gathering dust. push it. Some stains, they stay. Some clouds, they rain. Some days they aren't meant to be seized, and some dreams, they change. Some bets you lose. Most of the time you can't choose. 'Cause living and loving is just a shot in the dark. And some things are meant to fall apart. I don't believe that there's a God who made us each a plan. But I can't deny how all of my scars and hopes falling through made me who I am. 'Cause some stains, they stay. Some clouds, they rain. Some days they aren't meant to be seized, and some dreams, they change. Some bets you lose. Most of the time you can't choose. 'Cause living and loving is just a shot in the dark. And some things are meant to fall apart. Thank you. So, one of the things that's fallen apart in my life is a fair amount of relationships, and one in particular that had a very large impact on me, and prompted me to write an entire album about it, to kind of process through my feelings and figure out what I was doing and figure out what came next. And all of this, of course, happened during COVID. So I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was sitting at home in my parents' house outside of Philadelphia, figuring out in life what came next, not just with this relationship. And so I got a chance to, put it all into this album and record it from my mother's attic. I hung I want to say shower curtains, but really they were like blankets. I hung blankets from the ceiling so I could make myself like a little sound booth. And then my producer at the time, he was in Austin, Texas. Our drummer was in Queens. We had somebody in San Francisco. So we were all spread across the country, recording in our own little makeshift studios in our basements or attics or our parents' houses or wherever we were, sending it to my producer. He would patch it all together. He would send back notes. We would do it all over again. And we put this album together called Songs for My Next Ex that I released in December of 2020. And this next song is off of it. It's called Not Mine Anymore. How to put into words the pain I feel. How to put into verse the love that was real that we shared. And now I feel like you don't care. Did I make up the time you spent with me? Did I make up the signs that made me believe in my dreams? Was what we had not all it seemed? 'Cause I told you I loved you, I gave you my trust when you said that you would were choosing only us. But you changed up the story, went back on your word, and I'm left confused and crying on the floor as I try to make myself believe you're not mine anymore. Trying to find a way we could still stay friends. Trying to find a way we don't have to admit there's an end. What we had won't come again. 'Cause I told you I loved you, I gave you my trust when you said that you were choosing only us. But you changed up the story, went back on your word, and I'm left confused and crying on the floor as I try to make myself believe you're not mine anymore. No. You can't deny we're still feeling. You can't deny there's a pull. You can't deny this is cheating ourselves and the woman that you left me for. How to put into words the pain I feel. How to put into verse the love I believe we still share. You can't deny that it's still there. 'Cause she told you she loved you, she gave you her trust, then you turned around and came right back to us. Yes, you changed up the story, went back on your word, and I'm still confused and crying on the floor. 'Cause I can't force myself to believe you're not mine anymore. No, no. Force myself to believe you're not mine anymore. Thank you. So that song, that album, was my very first full-length album. And now with this album coming out May 1st, that will be my third full-length album. And leading up to it, I've had a number of singles that I've released kind of to, promote and do pre-release for the album and get people excited. And I have one more single coming out before the actual full album comes out, and it's coming out next Thursday. It's called Created Me. And I wrote it after seeing, it was like a post online or like, I honestly, at this point, I should have saved it. I should have known that this would happen. And of course I didn't. I didn't save it. But I saw something online that kind of talked about all of the things that we do in our life that we, like the littlest things that we don't realize are because, that's the way that our parents did it. From like tapping your fingers on a steering wheel when you're driving, or whether, this is a very controversial one, but whether you put the toilet paper over or under. It's a very big one. But these like little tiny things that are mostly inconsequential, but we do it because that's how our parents always did it. And they do it that way because that's how their parents always did it. And they probably did it that way because that's how their parents always did it. And there's these things that, I now do that when I think about it, like how many generations back in my family does that really go? Like, does it stop at my parents or does it go to their great-great-great-grandparents? And so it caused me to, reflect a lot on all of the parts of my life that have been passed down and all of the pieces of the people who came before me who've made me who I am today. And this has created me. Do I laugh like my great-grandfather who passed it down to his daughter, whose son raised me up as I am? Will the laugh my daddy taught to me continue down our family tree to children that I one day hope to have? We're all pieces of the past, crafted by the last of the ones who planned their lives to become ours. I am all that they once knew, molded into who they imagined when they wished upon the stars. Time plants seeds, all that once was theirs created me. Did my mother's father know that he would be the reason I can see the notes flying up off a page? And did his mother, who came before, go dancing through their kitchen door when radio first let her music play? We're all pieces of the past, crafted by the last of the ones who planned their lives to become ours. I am all that they once knew, molded into who they imagined when they wished upon the stars. Time plants seeds, all that once was theirs created me. Do I have her smile from hundreds of years ago? Do I squint my eyes like he did when he was a kid? Can our history say why my sister twirls her hair in that way? Is it more of who came before? 'Cause we're all pieces of the past, crafted by the last of the ones who planned their lives to become ours. I am all that they once knew, molded into who they imagined when they wished upon their stars. Time plants seeds, all that once was theirs, all that once was theirs. Oh, created me. Thank you. And that song will come out next Thursday on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, I don't know, wherever people get music these days online. It'll be there. Do you ever think about me when you're waking up in the middle of the night? Do you ever wonder what I'm doing when I'm home alone? Do you ever pull my number up in your phone and convince yourself not to call? Do you ever question why you let me go at all? 'Cause I was your number one, I was your girl, I was your world, I was the one you needed when you fell. You're down on your knees, it's true, but you broke my heart in two. So I hope that it was worth it, 'cause I'm never coming back to you. put you out of my mind. After days of writing, I was able to put tears to song. After hours of therapy, I saw that you were bad for me and knew it was time to quit. After second guessing every minute I spent in it, 'cause I was your number one. I was your girl, I was your world. I was the one you needed when you fell. You're down on your knees, it's true, but you broke my heart in two. So I hope that it was worth it, 'cause I'm never coming back to you. Yeah, I hope that it was worth it, 'cause I'm never coming back. In my head wondering how many times you said I was the one, while you were in her bed sheets of sweat, telling her the same thing, calling her baby. Up at night after light, running through all the ways you've tried to make me stay, but in the end I can't spend all of my time, go on wasting my mind on you. 'Cause I was your number one, I was your girl, I was your world. I was the one you needed when you fell. You're down on your knees, it's true, but you broke my heart in two. So I hope that it was worth it, 'cause I'm never coming back to you. Yeah, I hope that she was worth it, 'cause I'm never coming back to you. Thank you. Now that song's called You're Number One, and I released that as a part of my album Wild Child that came out fall 2023. Man, it feels like it was like a couple months ago, but also like 5 years ago at this point. So fall 2023, I released an album called Wild Child, and it's a lot of songs that I wrote when I first moved to Nashville and was figuring out this new chapter of my life. And it gave me a lot of opportunities that I didn't expect to have. I released it in the fall. I spent about half of last year on the road. I went to 31 different cities touring the album, and I just feel really lucky that that's kind of the path that it led me on. And now it's led me to this third album with all of these new songs and a whole new chapter of my life, having moved back to the East Coast and moved to Philadelphia. But that album will always be really special to me and kind of mark that chapter of Nashville. But all of these songs, I take a lot of inspiration from artists that I grew up listening to. I grew up listening to either classical music, musical theater, or classic folk. Those were kind of like the three areas we could pick from, especially like when in the car on long rides and whatnot. And so a lot of the music I grew up listening to was Peter, Paul and Mary, Simon and Garfunkel, Joni Mitchell, and all of those artists who really shaped the folk genre and shaped the music industry. And if you guys don't mind, I'd love to play a little song by Bob Dylan. yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do. To make you feel my love. Thank you. So I mentioned my friend Jake Arthur near the beginning. He's the one who wrote Single My 20s with me. And I also mentioned that we've written a number of songs together, and that was just the first one that we released. But the very first song that we actually wrote together is this next song called As Is. And it's I released it in January. It's also going to be on this album coming out in May. And it was the first time we'd written together. We sat down, and he was like, all right, like, what's on your mind? Like, what do you want to write about? And I pulled out my phone, because I have all of these notes in my phone that have, like, random words that I've jotted down, or, like, a snippet of a lyric that maybe could be something. And I had one note, and all that was in this note said, as is. And I'd had it sitting there for a while, because it kind of crossed my mind at some point when I'd been in, like, a Goodwill or a vintage shop or something that there's all these things that we buy in life that, you know, you go into a Goodwill and they're like, great, you're going to buy this sweater and you're taking it as is. But I feel like that can really be applied to life and the relationships that we seek out in life, whether a friendship or a romantic relationship. Like, we want to find somebody who takes us exactly as we are without asking us to change anything, and who's taking us as is. So we wrote a little song about it. I'm not a morning person, I don't plan to be. I drink too much Diet Coke, deal with anxiety. When I was 12, my parents told me they were splitting up. And ever since I've had a complicated view on love. I've always hated standing still. But for you I will. If you take me as is, I can promise my heart and my time, my soul and my mind, just like this. If you love me as is. I'll do the dishes since you hate washing those. Long as you can understand, I don't like folding clothes. No, I can be stubborn, but darling, so can you. So when it comes to compromise, we'll have to talk it through. I like being alone, but for you I'd share my home. If you take me as is, I can promise my heart and my time, my soul and my mind, just like this. If you love me as is. I'm not perfect, but who is? This is what I've got to give. So take me as 2 more songs for you guys where we take a little breather, take a little break. I'll grab some water. I'll also be over here. I have some merch, CDs, T-shirts, hats. I have a giant mug that my dad special requested. It's like 20 ounces. He wanted a very large mug, so now we have them. But most of all, I'd love if you just came and said hi and hung out for a little bit before we start with the second half of this. But 2 more songs before we do that. And this first one of those is a song that was kind of inspired by being on the road. I see a lot of towns. I see a lot of random restaurants that I find, a lot of random bars that I find. And one of the things that's always pretty consistent town to town is that there is like one spot that every audience is like, oh, this is the bar that you should go to afterwards. Like, this is the local spot. They'll get you a good, I'm not a beer drinker, but like a good cider or a good drink. They'll have some good, decent bar food. And it's just welcoming. And doesn't really matter where you're from or where you're passing through, but always be a comfortable spot to grab something. So this is a song called Neighborhood Bar. Tuesday night, things feel right, and all I see are your bright blue eyes, shooting sparks in the dark as you make your way to the bar to grab another drink before you think too hard and close the tab. Moods are vibing, you keep smiling even though you're still a little bit sad. 'Cause here we are at the neighborhood bar. Once you're inside, things start feeling better with drinks in hand and a local band. Life starts to fade away. Some money's tight and you keep fighting with your man. While you're here, it's all whiskey. Nothing matters much since we're both drinking like a truck at your neighborhood bar. Darts are thrown, secrets shown, and no one cares if you come alone. All are welcome, even those from out of town. So grab another beer before you hear the sound of closing calls. Adult is tougher when you've had enough. This fight cures all. Here we are at the neighborhood bar. Once you're inside, things start feeling better with drinks in hand and a local band. Life starts to fade away. Some money's tight and you keep fighting with your man. While you're here, it's all whiskey clear. Nothing matters much since we're both drinking like a truck at your neighborhood bar. You're friends with the owner and Johnny pours the jack. The bouncer is a stoner and he always has your back. So here we are at the neighborhood bar. Now you're inside and things are feeling better with drinks in hand and a local band. Life starts to fade away. We might not know where the night will go, but we'll close it down. So while you're here, it's all whiskey clear. Nothing matters much since we're both drinking like a truck at your neighborhood bar. Who cares about the fools once you're both sitting on the stools of your neighborhood bar? Thank you. All right, I'm going to leave you guys for this half with the title song off of my album, Wild Child. And I wrote this song soon after moving to Nashville and trying to figure out what this chapter of my life looked like. And before Nashville, I'd been living in New York, and I'd been doing a lot of theater and a lot of music, and I was kind of never really in the same place for very long. I would do like a show for 3 months in Oregon, and then 3 months in Texas, and then I'd be on the road for a bit, and then I'd be back in New York between jobs, working like 9 side gigs, and nothing felt very stable or grounded. And then I moved down to Nashville, and it was the first time in a while that I'd been like, okay, I guess I'm just here in one place. I have to start my life over from scratch and like make friends, I guess, and figure this out. And it was a lot of grappling in my head of like wanting to have that stability and also wanting to like be back out in the world and seeing new places. And but yeah, so I wrote a song about it and kind of helped process through. And this was at the very beginning of my journey in Nashville. And it's really crazy to think about how it grew from there. In a town that ain't my own yet, in a house that ain't a home yet, in a life that I just started living, with some friends I barely know, with a job where there's room to grow, with some plans that I didn't see coming. That's when this wild child starts running. 'Cause I've run all my life, from state to state, from job to job, and made to make. And I've only slowed down when I saw disaster coming. Then I keep on running. So here I am, standing still, waiting for that next string to spill, trying to see what I surely am missing. But days go by and things are good, getting used to this neighborhood, growing roots in a ground where the wildflowers are blooming. So will this wild child keep moving? 'Cause I've run all my life, from state to state, from job to job, and made to make. And I've only slowed down when I saw disaster coming. Then I keep on running. Looking out on neon lights, drunk boys itching to pick their fights, crowded lines fill a road that could lead to a highway. And I could go, yeah, I could leave, but is that what they expect of me? 'Cause I'm always the one who makes fires out of nothing. So will this wild child do something? 'Cause I've run all my life, from state to state, from job to job, and made to make. And I've only slowed down to create the next disaster. And I played to gonna stop running. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Charlotte Morris, everybody. Fantastic. As Charlotte mentioned, she brought a whole bunch of really cool-looking merch over here, so you might want to come and check that out and say hello. You can also refill your snacks and drinks. The bathrooms are down the hall and on the left, and we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes.
When we took a look, when I was able to see, on the screen, there were no more tumors. No tumors, but there must be some cells.
And we only, here, we've only used one.
No, I didn't tell me. He took some samples. Yeah.
The only thing I'm trying to do is,
It doesn't say, but it says
since it doesn't.
positive, yeah. Yeah, there were no new tumors in this stuff. Yeah, that's good. That's why he said whether there's cancer cells or not, he would want me to continue to do these things every 3 months for a year. Yeah.
So do you plan
certainly, vocal or guitar or both, because it just comes down to touch.
Joni comparisons of like, yeah.
Well, and doing the show, the setup is, I'm pretty close to the time, sometimes I look back there, it sounds quite different in the back than it does here.
Oh, it's just that, it's just my business card, but you can scan that with your phone,
I would
with
never,
your camera.
when they denied the system, I wouldn't have hooked them next
The
year.
website is all over.
That's what we normally do. Other than it was like a 2 year, I didn't think out.
Are you learning still?
Took you a little bit, so, yeah.
I'm learning this out.
You stay then, huh? Okay, well, we're opposed.
80 degrees. Is that now?
Wait till you go out.
I have a friend in Nashville, she did all of the songs, all of the songs, all of our we have it, she's amazing.
I know, it looks good.
Thank you.
Just like a school store.
So much. So like, do you have time here, or you?
No, I come here quite often.
Amazing.
I take 2 trains and come from the local suburbs.
Oh my goodness, you have committed. I
I
love that.
only have it.
Wow. Oh, and then that's it. Yeah, I'm in.
And I don't like those big blow. Yeah. Did you get to, by the way?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. Oh my gosh, amazing. Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
To me, this is.
Oh, yeah. I know that's why my dad, since cut down, he's a big tea drinker, so he like does them.
You weren't looking over at the, but the angle is totally wrong. That was one thing they put, we had to make sure we built in the camera. I would sit on a stool and sit right there. The disadvantage I had always, is I didn't feel the tunnel because I did it around the left hand. It was on the wall, so you always go like this, and, you know, and then you look over there and you're like, you know, so this is nice because everyone's in front of you. Yeah. Hopefully it still works.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah. What I like the removal, look at the removable door thing.
Couple of things, but I was here.
That's
yeah,
on there.
I about once a year,
That's-
at least,
oh.
so, yeah, I was here
That is,
last
yeah, because I've always found the door
June,
a hassle. Yeah, and then just take it off. This is like ideal. I love this. Yeah, that was like just my first time seeing it. I'm like, what? You could take it off. Yeah, because when it was here sticking out, it's in the way, and then if you folded it back, it only folded that far. Yeah. Well, this, the new hinges.
Next year.
Because this switched to the pin part too, because that has a
Yes, yeah, I'll be able to show this, yes. Yeah, this is actually not mine, but I travel in a van. Yeah, it's, yeah, I mean, so one day I'd like to have like this one, but they're definitely a lot more work for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, May 1st.
So I can get that on.
Yeah, I think that's. Oh my gosh, yeah, and that song comes up next week too, so that'll be awesome. Okay.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
of course, thank you.
There you go.
I'm good, how are you?
QR code.
Yes, yeah, if you just, I mean, my website's also just listed there, but it'll take you to all the links just on your camera. I know. That's why I did my dad was like, make sure you have the website as well. And I was like, okay. No worries, you know what? You want this? You can have it. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's causing this. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, these are all $5. Either one.
The problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but it helps some issues.
No, honestly, this whole, recently it's sucking for everyone right now. Yeah. It's rough.
I've just been doing, because it's only on one channel.
It's definitely, yeah, our dad has diabetes, and we know, like, it's
Yeah.
an everyday
Pretty
struggle.
much what I
Yeah.
use. This one I use goes there.
Yeah.
I don't do that much.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Okay, of course, I love that. No worries.
I'll show off some of the stuff.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I mean, if you don't make an email, you can always send me on the list, but either way, we'll find each other.
Is there big buildings and tall buildings in Nashville?
There's a couple, but not, I mean, nowhere close to like Chicago or anything like that. There's a few, but it's pretty small.
It's all first. All country guitar music. Just,
Yeah, so much country.
well, that's where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's great to meet you. You too.
It's hard to understand. I know people have said that before. They have a room, one room.
And then sometimes I have passion until I, I'm on the web. Yeah.
That kind of stuff usually do sound good, period. Some shows like this feels good.
Yeah. Yeah, right? So, 20 ounce there. Yeah, it's like.
I just kept playing with it. But I was fine. And I don't know why this is. It varies within the room.
Yeah, so violin was my first one actually, and when I have a guitarist with me or a full band, I'll play violin on a bunch of songs, but yeah, violin, guitar, and then I've definitely let them fall to the wayside a little bit, so I have to practice, but I play like ukulele, piano, banjo.
Might be my headphones, I don't know.
Guitar and violin are the main.
It seems like too much to me.
No, honestly, yeah,
All
it's,
matters.
I mean, I mean, for high fights, for,
I know your mom won.
I'm sure one day I'll,
I remember.
I guess bigger crowds are nice, but like it's nice when people are listening and actually being engaged.
They go every year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I went to that, book the series in Nashville, and then we would go the first weekend in February, because I know that's the end. There's certain dates that are, it's like I always do, they do probably don't do that. So like, that would be nice for a book festival. Yeah, that's all.
Look at that. These guys, the essential publics.
That's the thing, summer gets busy with all the festivals. This place, they have the music
In pints.
virtually every Friday night since like the 70s. If there's a,
If I find it, I like Christmas, but otherwise, it's pretty much always a show here every Friday. So they vary. With the same night only 7 channels really. But, I remember having a show a while ago where they brought another 8-channel mixer and put it in front of us, so analog mixer for 7 channels, and then this one for 7 more. But it's not that big a stage, so you can't too much. No. It usually 45 minutes long, so
Hopefully from the 50s to 60s.
pretty soon. 40, like 50, yeah, 'cause well, usually it's 2 sets of 45.
All right, everybody, we're going to get started with another set. But before we do, I want to tell you about some of the great things that are coming up here at the Two-Way Street Coffee House. Next Friday night, we have the Song Sisters. They're a wonderful local group, fabulous harmonies. You're not going to want to miss it. Ken Perlman will be here on the 28th. And then on the 29th, he's running 2, not 1, but 2, claw hammer banjo workshops as part of our 5th Saturdays workshops that we've been doing. So you can register for that online, and you can see me for more information if you have questions. So we've got a barn dance on April 5th. On April 6th, we have our first matinee. It's Sunday at 3 p.m. Concert. We're going to be featuring 4 artists. Mark Dvorak will be here, Ashley and Simpson, and then we have Sons of the Prairie and Waddle and Daub. So we're going to have 3 matinee concerts, and all of the proceeds will go to benefit the coffee house. So all the donations collected, all the artists have graciously donated their performances, so we're really grateful. And that donations will help operations for the coffee house, new equipment that we need, so just kind of stuff like that. So tomorrow we have a sing-around at 2 p.m. in this room. Every first and third Saturday are sing-arounds. Every fourth Saturday is a country western jam. And every second Tuesday is a song circle with our friends from the Plank Road Folk Music Society. Fantastic. Bring your guitars, bring a song, bring your instruments, bring your voice, bring yourselves. You don't have to do anything but listen if you want to. But it's really just wonderful. So on the racks outside and on your tables are flyers. Randy, tomorrow, tell us about it. And here, use the mic so the people online.
Yeah, because I always forget about that. As you may or may not know, my wife and I run the Acoustic Renaissance Concert Series over in Hinsdale, and we have Ann Hills tomorrow. The show's been really popular. We have 8 tickets left. So if you want to come in person and you're not driving all that far, there's a good chance you'll get in. But if you're driving an hour to get there, well, there may not be room for you. So, but we'd love to see you tomorrow night. Show begins at 7, doors at 6:15, and there's flyers on the show there. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, Ann Hills, you're not going to want to miss that. So yeah, we also have information about Maple Street Chapel and St. Tim's and kind of all the wonderful folk events that we have in the area. So it's a great scene with lots of stuff to see and lots of wonderful artists. So we're grateful. Okay, now another set from the wonderful Maren Morris.
Starting off strong, bonking myself in the head. Oh my God. Heart racing, pounding, finding it hard to hold on. Mind spinning, falling, working me up till I'm gone. Spiraling till there's no one to bring me back down. Dancing with dangers, life all around me turns brown. Then I put one foot in front of the other, and the water races around, and I can't breathe again, and I can't see all of the little mistakes that are blew out of place. I can't breathe again. When my toes hit the sand and the ocean is calling, wind in my hair, the salt water rushing towards me, I can breathe. It's grounding, calming, everything silence is not. When wishing, wondering, tangles me up in my thoughts. Quickly it's pulling me under and pulling me down. Smooth on my skin as anxieties all start to drown. And I can't breathe again. And I can't see all of the little mistakes that are blew out of place. I can't breathe again. When my toes hit the sand and the ocean is calling, wind in my hair, the salt water rushing towards me, I can breathe. Purple, green, blue, every hue of the ocean brings peace. Slow in my brain till my body and soul finally meet. Then I step one foot into the sea, and at last I feel like me. 'Cause I can't breathe again, and I can't see all of the little mistakes that are blew out of place. I can't breathe again. When my toes hit the sand and the ocean is calling, wind in my hair, the salt water rushing towards me, I can breathe. Thank you. So a couple years ago, I had the privilege of being a part of a songwriters kind of week-long intensive through the Johnny Mercer Songwriters Foundation. And this was the first time when I was at school at Northwestern, I did a lot of writing for musical theater, and I had a lot of kind of guidance and mentorship, specifically writing for theater. But I never had any guidance writing my own stuff and writing this music. And so this Songwriters Intensive was the first time I'd ever gotten to sit down and kind of before everything share my music with other songwriters. There were about 13 of us selected for the program that year. So share with my peers, and then also share with a really amazing group of mentors who spanned different genres and different experiences within the industry. And it truly was like a transformative experience for me, and really pushed me out of my comfort zone and started, trying new genres and new ways of thinking about writing, and found new ways to get inspired. But one of our mentors, about halfway through the week, challenged me to write a song with fewer words. He said that I was very wordy, and to see what would happen if there were fewer words on the page. And so I took that and ran with it, and this is what came out of that. glasses jilled, red and white, lingering gaze, dim and light, nervous laugh, awkward touch, fill the space, talk too much, I don't know you, you don't know me, but we're both here, willing to see what might be. If we take a chance, try this out, forget our pasts, and see what the present is all about. Just us two in this crowded room where drinks will flow. So what do you want to know? Open book, all up front, what I need, what I want. Wasting time seems a shame if we're both down to play walk in the street. Pause, let lips meet, and take a chance, try this out, forget our past, and see what the present is all about. Just us two on this cloudy night where stars won't show. So what do you want to know? Kiss goodnight, drive away, plans are made, Saturday, what's to come, time will tell. So there's a lot of places in life that are special to me and have kind of shaped different chapters of my life and made me who I am in a lot of different ways. And a place that's been very constant for me through my entire life is a little island up in Maine off of a city called Rockland. And it's a place that me and my family would go and still go when we can every single summer. And when we were little, we would go for, I don't know, Ellen, my sister's in the back, so correct me if I'm wrong here, but, we'd go for like a week or two, and then as we got older, and that's, where we would want to be for the entirety of the summer. So my parents would make it possible for my sister and I to go up there for the whole summer, for all of July, all of August, and it's this tiny little island, so we would get to just bike around and be with our friends and have what felt like the most freedom ever, especially as like a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old. And it felt safe and grounding and just like a place where you can grow and figure yourself out with all of these people that you've grown up with. And I still go as much as I can over the summer, and I've only missed one summer of my life, and hopefully this summer won't make it too. Fingers crossed. But it means a lot to me, and the state in general means a lot to me, and it's really hard I think, to put something that impactful into a song, or at least into one song. But this at least gives you a little bit of a glimpse into it. Past 4 months I felt a little bit lost, a little bit found. Part of me is racing forward, but another part feels stuck in muddy ground. When I climb to the top of the world, I can see the earth curve takes the wind, and I know I'm in a place where I can grow, and all that it takes is one perfect day in a state that's brought my joy and held my pain. Then I'm back on the ground, walking down a byway in Maine. There's a calm I feel as soon as I see the state line. Air breathes easier with the salty of the sea mixed with the pine, and I feel more at home on this island in the ocean than I do when I'm within the walls I own. So I trust I'll leave with clarity in the way this place has done for me, for every year but one since I was born. 'Cause when the skies open up and I climb to the top of the world, I can see the earth curve, taste the wind, and I know I'm in a place where I can grow. And all that it takes is one perfect day in a state that's brought my joy and held my pain. Then I'm back on the ground, walking down a byway in Maine. So I don't know where to go next. Control is a complex I fight, but with my feet on the land my great-grandparents planned, I let go of this concept of right. 'Cause when the sky opens up and I climb to the top of the world, I can see the earth curve, taste the wind, and I know I'm in a place where I can grow. And all that it takes is one perfect day in a state that's brought my joy and held my pain. Thank you. So I mentioned earlier that I get a lot of inspiration and I grew up listening to folks like Peter, Paul, and Mary, and Simon and Garfunkel, and all of these folk greats. And a song that I feel like, for me, runs through my brain as a huge part of my childhood is the song "Leaving on a Jet Plane," specifically the Peter, Paul, and Mary version. I'm going to play it for you guys. All my bags are packed and ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, blowing his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I've played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I think of you. Every song I sing for you. When I get back, I'll wear your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you one more time. Let me kiss you, then close your eyes. I'll be on my way. And I'll think about the days to come when I won't have to sleep alone. About the times I won't have to say. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Yes, I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Thank you. So, fun fact about me is that during COVID, I became a certified personal trainer, which I used precisely 0 times. But I did it. I had so much time on my hands, and I was stuck, not stuck. I'm so grateful for the time that I got to spend with my mom and stepdad specifically during that time. But 10 months is a really long time to be in a house with your parents as an adult where you can't leave to go anywhere. So I became a personal trainer, and I gave my mom some coachings, and my friend, we did some coachings like over Zoom. That was the extent. And the reason I tell you this at all is because one of the big things about, training and building up muscle is that to build up these muscles, you have to first break them down. And that's like what working out and lifting is. It breaks down your muscles, and then as you get stronger and as you kind of take those recovery times and days and whatever is built into your program, if you have that, I don't know. That's what helps build it back up. And I was thinking about that a little bit ago, about how, if that is true of any other muscle in our body, why isn't that true about our heart? And I think that it is. The more times that your heart gets broken down, it just makes you stronger from there. This is called Stronger Than Before. They say to build a muscle, you've got to break it down. Put time and effort, and the energy comes back around. They say to find your balance, you've got to walk on wire. They say to face your fears, take that fight, walk through fire. Well, if that's the case, I know my future's good to go. 'Cause my heart's been broken down too many times to count. I've taken leaps where I've had every kind of doubt. This muscle living in my chest has seen all kinds of pain, but every time I manage to piece it back again. So next time love knocks on my door, I know my heart's stronger than before. I've been the high school sweetheart, I've been the summer fling, I've been the one who got away without that diamond ring. I've watched my friends get married, I've watched them get divorced. The effort needed to succeed in love is reinforced. So, with all that I have learned, I hope my love is earned. 'Cause my heart's been broken down too many times to count. I've taken leaps where I've had every kind of doubt. This muscle living in my chest has seen all kinds of pain, but every time I've managed to piece it back again. So next time love knocks on my door, I know my heart's stronger than before. It takes a lot of work to make forever last, and judging from my past, they say to build a muscle, you've got to break it down. Put time and effort, and the energy comes back around. 'Cause my heart's been broken down too many times to count. I've taken leaps where I've had every kind of doubt. This muscle living in my chest has seen all kinds of pain, but every time I've managed to piece it back again. So next time love knocks on my door, I know my heart's stronger than before. Yeah, know my heart's stronger than before. Thank you. Is it the wine I'm drinking or the smell of your cologne? Is it the stars that shoot across the sky? Maybe it's the moonlight that's dancing on your face. Or maybe it's the music playing low in this place. Is it how your eyes linger on my lips? Is it your hand that's brushing over mine? Maybe it's all of these little things combined that keep me from saying goodnight. But come tomorrow when the high fades away. Come tomorrow when the sun rises up on a new day. In the morning I might wake up with the feeling of regret, but tomorrow's not here yet. It's the way your nose crinkles when you laugh at my jokes. It's the hair that curls around your brow. It's hard to imagine a time that isn't now, 'cause you make all the minutes slow somehow. But come tomorrow when the high fades away. Come tomorrow when the sun rises up on a new day. In the morning I might wake up with the feeling of regret, but tomorrow's not here yet. Don't waste a worry on if there's more to this. Just embrace the mood and take your kiss. 'Cause come tomorrow when the high fades away. Come tomorrow when the sun rises up on a new day. Sitting here tonight might be as good as we can get, 'cause tomorrow's not here yet. So while we're still together, we should make the most of it, 'cause tomorrow's not here yet. No, tomorrow's not here So that song and this next one are both on this album coming out May 1st. And I kind of mentioned before, so the album's called Both Sides. And when I think about it, I think that it's about all these different sides of life. And it was inspired by Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now, which is one of the tracks on the record. And I think that song is so poignant, and it puts it in the best ways, that there's all of these things in life that, from one side of it, from one perspective, it's this beautiful, shining, new, happy thing, and, things can change in an instant, and when you're looking at it from a different perspective or a different side of things, or maybe a year later or 10 years later, you see something completely different. And all of the songs on the record kind of explore that and explore the different sides of relationships and my life and my journey through life. And so I think that song, Come Tomorrow, paired with this next song, Changing Your Number, or Changing My Number, show that dichotomy in a really beautiful way. The next time you call me, I won't pick up the phone. The next time you drive by my house, I won't be home. And it won't matter time of day, it won't matter sun or rain, 'cause I'm up and moving away tonight. And I'm changing my number this time. It shouldn't come as any kind of surprise. I've been avoiding your hazy green eyes, 'cause it don't matter that you sting, it don't matter that you bring everything around me crashing down. And that's why I need to leave town. 'Cause this time won't be like the last, when sorry's turned into come homes. I'm kicking out my past and leaving her dead on the road. I know that I'd go to hell if you asked me to dive. So I'm packing boxes and changing my number this time. Don't try to find me, this ain't one of your games. 3 towns behind me, they all look the same. And it don't matter where I land, it don't matter dirt or sand, just as long as miles turn into state lines. Everything else will be fine. And this time won't be like the last, when sorry's turned into come homes. I'm kicking out my past and leaving her dead on the road. So when I was talking about my song Created Me earlier, I was talking about all these things that get passed down to us from our parents, and all of these quirks and all of these traditions. And my dad is somebody who holds on to a lot of things. He holds on to report cards from high school, like his high school, not mine, his high school. He holds on to receipts for, I think it's 7 years, because I think the IRS can still ask you for a receipt for something within a 7-year period, something like that. So he holds on to receipts. He holds on to a lot of stuff. And a few years back, he and my stepmom moved out of the home, my childhood home, the home that my sister and I grew up in. And he spent, I don't know how many months going through all of the years and years of what he had accumulated. And he got rid of a lot of it because they moved into an apartment, and there wasn't room for any of it anymore. He does still have a storage unit that is chock full. I don't know what exactly is in there, but things he decided he couldn't get rid of, but didn't make it to the house, like didn't make it to the apartment. So I suppose maybe one day he'll go through that. But I say this because I do think that there are some things that he's held on to that I'm so grateful for. And one of those things is the kitchen table that we grew up with. And he got this table way before he had me or my sister, way before he was married. He got it 40 years ago, I think, at this point. And it's this beautiful, wooden table that sat in our kitchen in California before we moved. I was a baby, I don't remember this, but it was there. It moved with us to Pennsylvania. It sat in our kitchen outside of Philadelphia, and then it moved with him to the apartment. But a few months ago, or I guess maybe 6 or 7 months ago at this point, he told me that he was getting rid of the table. And this was devastating, so I wrote a song about it. He probably didn't think that much of it. Just needed something built to last. Wanted a space to sit at the end of the day and rest his glass. He didn't know it's where he'd make his memories. Every early morning and late night. Every family dinner, every bill he paid, and every fight. This block of wood carved into something special, marked with scars and stains that come with time. I bet Dad didn't know the day he bought it. It would measure years of our lives. Through all the ups and downs, it's been stable. 'Cause life all happens there at the kitchen table. It's where he watched me learn to count my numbers. It's where my mom would hold me when I cried. It's where my sister read, getting lost in every book she could find. This block of wood carved into something special, marked with scars and stains that come with time. I bet Dad didn't know the day he bought it. It would measure years of our lives. Through all the ups and downs, it's been stable. 'Cause life all has kitchen table. He bought it on his own almost 40 years ago. Funny how a table builds a life. It's where I got my letter into college. It's where I packed my bags and said goodbye. It's aged with me through years, seen smiles and seen tears, and now it's mine. 'Cause this block of wood carved into something special, marked with scars and stains that come with time. I bet Dad didn't know the day he bought it, it would measure years of our lives. Through all the ups and downs, it's been stable. This life all happens there. Yes, life all happens there. At the kitchen table. Thank you. And he did, in fact, let me know this so that I could claim the table. And the table is now sitting in my kitchen, and hopefully it will have 40 more years. Thank you. Yes, give it up for the table. It's a really good table. So as I mentioned a little bit ago, I spent a lot of last year on the road touring with my album Wild Child. And this year I'm spending a decent amount of time on the road as well. And that is directly at odds with my desire to be at home in my sweatpants at all times. I'm a big homebody. I like to be in my space that is, everything is where it should be. And, you know, there's no chaos. It's all orderly. I also got that from my dad. He doesn't like mess, though. Don't go into his office because that is messy. But everything else has its place. And so I have this huge draw in my mind and in my heart to be at home and be grounded. I've been using that word a lot recently in this show, but to be grounded and have that stability in my home and in the space that is, mine. But on the other hand, there's like a whole other half of my heart that wants to be on the road and wants to be out exploring and adventuring, whether it's out playing music or out traveling and hiking and seeing the world and seeing all of the beautiful things. And so my heart and my brain are constantly at odds about this. And sometimes, especially when I've been on the road touring for a longer stretch of time, it gets really hard to kind of get myself out of that low and to push through and to keep that energy. But something that does always help is a lot of times when I'm driving, my mom or my dad or my sister will call me to kind of keep me company when I'm on the road, because I do talk to my dog, but she doesn't talk back yet. So they'll call and they'll keep me company. And especially when my mom calls, she always asks me where I am, and I never know where I am. I know what state I'm in, mostly, and I know what city I'm coming from and what city I'm going to, but I don't know what highway I'm on. I don't know what town I just passed. I put it into my GPS and I'm following my GPS, and if I didn't have the GPS, I'd be lost. I'd be stranded. So when she calls, she'll ask me where I am, and I always say, I'm somewhere in Massachusetts, or I'm somewhere in Illinois. And this one time she called me, and I was feeling kind of especially conflicted at that point, and she called, and that day I was somewhere in Ohio. This is somewhere in Ohio. Slept pulled over off of 75 after loading out from that Dayton stage last night. 200 miles to the next show and 3 more months before I make it home. So I'm counting county lines as I go, trying to keep my mind on the road. I love it and I hate it, always different but the same. When I'm wishing I was sleeping in my own damn bed, and I wouldn't dare to clip my wings or trade this life for anything, even when my heart and gas are low. So when mama calls to ask me where I am, I'm somewhere in Ohio. Ohio. Through one-road towns I never thought I'd see, with all these people that I never knew I'd meet. Me and the dog in this touring Ford, stocked up on what I can afford, but every day's a little closer toward another chance to open one more door. I love it and I hate it, always different but the same. When I'm wishing I was sleeping in my own damn bed, and I wouldn't dare to clip my wings or trade this life for anything, even when my heart and gas are low. So when mama calls to ask me where I am, I'm somewhere in Ohio. To ask me where I am, I'm somewhere in Ohio. Sled pulled over off of 95 after loading out from that Philly stage last night. Thank you. All right, I have one more song for you guys. And I just want to thank you for coming on out and spending your Friday with me, especially on such a beautiful Friday. You could have been outdoors somewhere, and you chose to hang out and listen to original music mostly. And yeah, just let me share my songs and my stories with you. Obviously, a huge thank you to everybody here at Two-Way Street and all of the amazing shows, especially given the schedule you guys heard. Like, that takes so much work and so much effort from them and from the community. And so, especially if you're local and close by, please come and continue to come to shows and support, because live and original music, especially in this type of setting, is really, really special for an artist, especially in this genre. There's a lot of venues that I'll go to where people are talking or drinking or eating food, and they kind of have half an ear in and half an ear out, and those are fine on occasion, but it's not the type of audience that you want when you're pouring your soul out and you're pouring your emotions out. And so this type of space is really special. So I just want to thank you guys. But yeah, again, my name's Charlotte Morris, and you can find me online at charlottemorrismusic.com and on any social medias at Charlotte Morris Music. If you're in person right now, I do have a free newsletter that you can sign up for where I send everything that I'm doing first. So you'll get early access to the album that's coming out, as well as you'll get all the news about new show dates and tickets and merch and songs and all of the above. So if you want to follow along with my journey and see where I'm at, you can sign up for that. I'm going to close things out with a song that I wrote called Raised by a Woman, about all the strong and amazing women in my life who've sacrificed a lot, both to help me and all of the ones that I love, and especially to lift us up and continue to build strong women and emotionally present men. And I think that can be rare sometimes to have those strong women. And so I'm really grateful for those who are in my life and who continue to push forward for all of the other women in the world, and this is Raised by a Woman. Nothing stirs his heart like a fresh pack of strings on his guitar. Nothing makes him cry like a sunrise over Montana, 'cause he was raised by a woman who did everything to get him out of her town. He was raised with a reckless ability to believe he could live anything down. Born into a family that needs chaos like robbers need to run. Fathered by abandon, set out to chase dreams like moons chase sun. But he was raised by a woman who saw everything to get him out of her town. Raised with respect and maturity, but nowadays don't often come around. Oh, her handprints on his heart. Oh, honey sweet and whiskey smart. Oh, he takes his joy from little things. Oh, and he loves me more than anything. Stubborn as a bloodstain, set on making his own mark. Wild as the summer rain, turning Nashville skies in minutes dark. But he was raised by a woman who risked everything to get him out of her town. He was raised to take his own responsibility and never let that fiery woman down. Oh, her handprints on his heart. Oh, honey sweet and whiskey smart. Oh, he takes his joy from little things. Oh, and he loves me more than anything. He was raised by a woman who saw everything in hopes he wouldn't end up like her man. He was raised with respect and humility. A best of all, one strong-ass woman's plan. Oh, her handprints on his heart. Oh, honey sweet and whiskey smart. Oh, he takes his joy from little things. Oh, and he loves me more than anything. Oh, yeah, he loves me more than anything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. That was wonderful. I want to give a shout out to our volunteers and make sure we thank them because, as Charlotte mentioned, we are an all-volunteer operation over here. So I would like to thank Tim at the counter, and then Randy and new sound trainee Jamie did a fantastic job tonight. And my name is Jennifer, so thank you so much for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. Now, nobody, I don't know if you know this, but nobody gets out of the two-way street without an encore. Should we ask Charlotte to do one more song? All right. Charlotte Morris, everybody. Thank you.
I'm glad I was warned. All right, I'm going to close things out with a song that I wrote and released back in 2018. And it was one of the first songs that I recorded down in Nashville with an amazing producer named Mitch Dane. And it was very poignant, I felt, at the time. And I think, unfortunately, it still holds pretty true. This is called Freedom. I see a world that is filled with hate. Through the words we say, the things we do, the stereotypes we perpetrate. And I see a world in which we all disagree about the way we vote, the ones we love, the things we believe. And the violence, it is spreading, and our country, it is getting out of hand. Don't you think that love should rule this land? So we must put down the armor, put down the guns. We the people, diverse yet strong as one. We will send out a signal saying, welcome unto thee. We will raise up the flag that once meant freedom. Oh, let freedom ring. I was born lucky. I was blessed to always win. By the wealth I share, the men I love, the color of my skin. But my friends are fighting just to live another day, 'cause they fear the wrath for who they are will strip their rights away. And the rhetoric is spewing, and our country, it is viewing the world through a screen. Don't you think it's time we all see? So we must put down the armor, put down the guns. We the people, diverse yet strong as one. We will send out a signal saying, welcome unto thee. We will raise up the flag that once meant freedom. Oh, let freedom ring. It's time to let freedom back in. It's time for love to win. So we must put down the armor, put down the guns. We the people, diverse yet strong as one. We will send out a signal, saying welcome unto thee. We will raise up the flag that once meant freedom. Oh, let freedom ring. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. Raise up the flag that once meant freedom. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy this weather and happy St. Patty's Day.
So do you whistle on this?
I do.
More than one?
Just one on that one.
Oh, do you have whistling on the other ones?
I have whistling online, but not in a CD form. But when the
I'm
new
crushed.
album, I know. When the new album comes out, there will be some whistling on there too.
Was that part of the curriculum at Northwestern?
It was not. It was actually because of my dad whistles, and I vividly remember, though I think he would deny this, I vividly remember him telling me one time when I was younger that I was whistling on TV, and I was very offended, and so I practiced whistling a lot.
Was he a musician?